Hello everyone, welcome back to Up and Foiling. This week we have the British SailGP preview for you.
We are super eager to see the SailGP coming to England this weekend, hopefully with a strong wind, and we are super happy to see them coming back to Europe.
Before we get into it, we have quite a bit of news, right, that went on between New York and the UK. Some news from the America's Cup.
Yes. Pete Burling is moving to Luna Rossa, to the Italian team, and this is a big news. Big news. We are super happy as Italians to have them, to have him in the team.
Yeah, rumors says that the commitment that the New Zealand team wanted from Pete Burling wasn't allowing him to sail in other sailing competitions, like SailGP, for example. And this led him to pick another team, but something's in the way from him sailing with the Italian team.
Yeah, there is a protocol that actually is forbidding sailors that competed in the last cup for one specific nation, then representing another one in the next event, in the next America's Cup. And we are, of course, wondering if maybe something is changing in the air. What do you think?
Yeah, it could be that the draft protocol is quite a draft still,
Yeah.
and there may be rumors that this rule is going to change. That, of course, I think Pete Burling wouldn't make the move unless he knew he could actually sail the boat. I would be really very surprised if he moved and did not have a seat on the boat, but he would be in a supporting role. But
Sure.
let's move all the way back to SailGP, or maybe before that to another event that went on during this summer break.
Yeah, we've seen this, this Moth sailing event on the Garda Lake that took place
Beautiful.
of July this year, and yeah, we've seen sailors of SailGP competing and actually, getting super nice results in this event. Particularly Tom Slingsby that took second place in the event, beating a lot of other SailGP skippers and former skippers of the past. And Diego Botin ended up in ninth position as well.
Very good results when you have people, I think, training on a Moth all year around. And
Exactly.
These guys are used to, sailing 49ers, they're used to SailGP, they have all these other boats, and then they just pop into a different class.
Yeah,
And they qualify so well on a world stage. So pretty impressive results. And it must be so cool, when in SailGP they all meet up for the event and they know they're gonna race, with Australia, Italy, Canada, and all those teams. But then they meet up also in separate events like this Moth Worlds. Quite a different dynamic, but you still see the best names in the sport. And I think that's why they're really the top sailors in the world right now, because they can really perform so well also on different classes of boats.
Yeah, you said it right. I mean, you are just alone on the boat, and yeah, you see actually the reality of the capacity of the sailor. Yeah, that's really.
And now let's get to this event in Portsmouth coming up. As you rightly said, it's the first event of the European leg. It's these 5 events in Europe. They'll be from now till October. So pretty concentrated. It's nice to have a calendar that groups events that are a bit more frequent. I think we'll get a good rhythm into these events. And it's going to be key to see what teams have, momentum that they keep improving race after race, weekend after weekend, and to make it in this famous final top 3 then in Abu Dhabi, where they're going to have the finals. Who's in shape, Big House? Who do we see in competing for this top 3 at the moment?
Yeah, right now we have Spain and Australia or Bones Flying Routes, and New Zealand in third place. But really, really close. We have Great Britain, with hopefully, we'll get back on its momentum, back in its home country, and then we have Canada, France, but the first three teams did an amazing job in this first events of the season, and we have seen that the point difference between these teams is very narrow. It's just one
only
point.
2 points. 2 points.
Yeah,
Yes.
46, 44, 45, the second one, and just at 41 we have Great Britain.
Yeah. They're coming off after bad results in the US
Yeah.
because Dylan Fletcher, the team didn't really connect with the sevens and an eights between San Francisco and New York. So they were really doing very, very well at the beginning of the season. We saw them at the top of the standings, even at some point. But then they got a little bit lost in the last events. So let's see if at home they can jump back and get a good results. But I wouldn't count out either the Canadian team. They also did a very good, strong first half of the season, and France as well, that have been catching up because they didn't have the boat at the beginning. So they've really been improving. They ended up in the final race back in New York. So keep an eye on them as well. And I think these top 5, 6 teams are those that will be competing for the top 3 at the end of the season, right? The others are a bit too far points wise to be able to catch up, in my opinion.
Yeah, a bit too far, but it's worth noting that Team Brazil did an amazing job on the rise, and it's on the rise. It's getting like position, fourth position in New York. Yeah, and it's quickly catching also Italian team, which is just one point, just one position above in the standings. But yeah, these two teams, I mean, especially Brazil. Yeah, Brazil did an amazing job in New York, getting its first win, and yeah,
Yeah.
it's a team that we have to keep looking at.
We'll forever think what could have been of that Rio de Janeiro event that was
Yeah,
planned but then cancelled. Imagine them showing such good performance in Brazil as well. But really impressed by Martingale and their team. They're really doing a great job. And I'm sure it's going to be tight between the two new teams, Italy and Brazil, at the end of the season. Let's not forget Brazil had some penalty points, so that's why they're so behind Italy, because they had a collision with Germany.
yeah,
Not really Brazil's fault, but they still got penalized.
yeah.
But moving on, what's the conditions looking like for the weekend, Big House?
Oh well, in the weekend actually we have like a good wind with the condition. We have a forecast of like 13, 14 knots around the time of the event on Saturday, and as well as something, yeah, let's say above 9, 10 knots of wind along Sunday all the day. So
Yeah,
yeah,
and
of
picking
course.
up in the evening, right? It's gonna pick
Yeah.
up, so if we may get to see like maybe 15 to 20 knots if we're lucky.
Yeah. And the fact is that I mean it is the forecasts are not showing much rain actually, so this is positive to be in England, I will say. But yeah, the wind is. I mean, right now the conditions are forecasted to be optimal for the race. So yeah,
After such a wet weekend in New York, I think they'll be
yeah,
happy not to have not to have it
that's
raining on their
that's
heads
possible.
all the time. So let's wrap it up, Big House. Who do you expect is gonna win the event this Sunday?
Well, I'm really for the British team, yeah, because
Oh,
they
okay.
deserve it. So yeah, I'm really for that. I mean, in the past, Australia and New Zealand won the race. I think it's more there is more possibility for other teams like Spain, for example, and Great Britain to get on top.
Yeah, I'd be very tempted to say Spain as a winner, but 3 times in a row, 3 wins in a row
Oh,
is a bit stretch for them. They come
and for
after 2
this season,
magnificent weekends in San Francisco, New York, and the 3rd win maybe is a bit too much of a stretch. So I'm gonna go for Australia as a winner this weekend.
mm,
Yeah, I think all that time on the Moth on Lake Garda did well to Tom Slingsby, so he may be putting some of that in practice with his SailGP team. Okay, that's a wrap. This wraps up our preview for the British SailGP. Enjoy the event, everyone, and we'll be here to comment it with you after we know who gets the win, who performs well, who's gonna be up and foiling, and who nosedives.
and stay tuned for our fun foil.
All right.
All right.